This is the only video you need to watch if you want to build a strong and visible core. Today we'll be ranking the best and worst ab exercises using this tier list. S-ranked movements will be the absolute GOATs, while D-ranked, well, let's just say they're better left in the trash. With that said, let's start with the exercise ranking. First, you need to remove all of the videos you have saved on Instagram and TikTok that are titled 5-minute ab routine or get abs in 30 days. How about those hit-style circle routines? Let me ask you this, would you jump around like a fish out of water to build your shoulders? Probably not. So why would you do a cardio-based ab workout routine? Our abs are like every other body part, and you need progressive overload to build them. The hit-style ab workouts are rated a D. With that out of the way, let's move on to the sit-up. This all-time classic is a great starting point for every beginner athlete, but it's also fantastic for those who are advanced. It offers a really good stretch on your core muscles, which is ideal for building muscle. You can also add weight over time, which makes them perfect for progressive overload. However, there is one problem with this move. If you have tight hips and aren't that good at mobility, you will put a lot of pressure on your lower spine discs, which can cause an injury. That's why I'm placing them in the B section. For those who have mastered the body weight and weighted sit-up and can do 30+ reps on both, the next progression will be the elevated sit-up. Again, you can do it with your own body weight or with added weight. This variation offers more muscle activation than the regular sit-up. The only problem here is the risk of back injury, which is not high but still exists. That's why I'm putting it in the A section. And while we're on the topic of sit-ups, we can't skip the hanging sit-ups. Or can we? This Spider-Man variation might look cool in Hollywood movies, but I personally don't recommend it. The position you're in feels and looks awkward, not to mention the risk of slipping and falling on your neck. I'm putting this exercise in the C tier. The cousins of the sit-ups are crunches. In my opinion, this is a great exercise if you want to target those upper abs. A pro tip to make the exercise harder is to ensure you're not resting on the ground while you're in the bottom position. Make sure to stop right before you touch the ground to keep the tension high. However, there are better exercise selections out there, and this is why I'm giving it a solid B. The next exercise on the list is the bicycle crunch. The thing I like about this exercise is that it works your whole core, engaging both upper and lower abs as well as the obliques, providing a comprehensive abdominal workout. However, the thing I don't like is that you can't really apply a progressive overload to it, which limits its potential for long-term muscle growth and strength gains. That's why I'm placing it in the B section. Despite its limitations, it remains a solid choice for a well-rounded core routine. But before you get disappointed with all the crunch variations, let's dive into the machine crunch. This exercise is a game changer for progressive overload because you can easily adjust the weights to your current level. Plus, you'll definitely feel the burn in your core. It ticks off every checklist for a killer ab exercise, which is why it's soaring to the top in the S tier. Another top crunch variation is the cable crunch. This exercise is an absolute beast when it comes to building strong and visible abs. Progressive overload is easy, making it perfect for both beginner and advanced athletes. Just ensure you're doing it with correct form and targeting your core. Many people tend to swing their hands up and down like they're at a rock concert. If you're doing it the right way, this will be yet another S tier exercise. Let's move on to the hanging knee raises. This is a really good and effective exercise, but only if you do it with perfect form. I always see people in the gym swinging around like those inflatable balloons you see in the front of car dealerships. The only thing that you need to move here is your knees, and make sure that you have a really good muscle connection with your core. If you're doing it with proper form, this exercise is a solid A tier move. All of this applies to the hanging leg raises, but this one cranks up the challenge level, making it even more effective. With this move, you will get a full core activation. That's why we're placing it at the top of our list in the S tier. The boss of all hanging ab exercises is the toe to bar. Many people think you need the flexibility of a gymnast to pull off this movement, but that's not entirely true. Sure, if you're stiff as a wooden plank, it might seem close to impossible, but if you're average or even slightly below average in flexibility, You can definitely nail it with the right technique. This is my personal favorite exercise when it comes to abs, and it definitely deserves its spot in the GOAT section S. All of the hanging exercises I mentioned require a strong grip, which not everyone has, especially if you're a beginner. That's why I recommend doing Roman chair, straight leg, or knee raises. The chair offers great support for your back, which eliminates the swinging problem for most people with hanging exercises. And at the same time, you won't have to worry about grip strength. This one is going in the A tier because it is slightly downgrading the hanging variations. If you think that 1 minute passes by fast, then you've never done a plank in your life. Or at least that's what the gym memes say. I completely agree that for a beginner athlete, the plank is a challenging exercise. But for a more advanced athlete, this exercise won't cut it. Did you know that the world record for a plank hold is over 9 hours? I haven't heard of someone doing hanging leg raises for 9 hours straight. That's why I'm putting this exercise in the C tier, because it's not as effective once you get used to it. Ever tried dumbbell side bends? If the answer is yes, I want to ask you, why? You don't need to put yourself through that torture. This exercise is one of the most useless ones out there when it comes to abs. In theory, it is for the obliques, but in reality, it does not activate your core the way it should. It also puts a lot of pressure on your lower back, which can lead to injuries. There are far more effective and safer exercises available to target your obliques without risking harm. This one's a solid D-. For sculpted obliques, nothing beats the cable twist. This exercise keeps constant tension on your core, ensuring optimal muscle activation. Plus, you can easily apply progressive overload to keep challenging yourself. It's a top tier move for sure, earning its spot in the S tier. You've probably heard the saying, abs are built in the gym, but made in the kitchen. But how many actually live by it? Here's the truth. No matter how intense your workout routine is, whether you're following Christian Bumstead's or David Late's program, your results will never reach their full potential if your nutrition is garbage. Training is 30% and nutrition is 70%. Generally speaking, if you want a visible six-pack, men should aim for a body fat percentage between 8 and 12%, while women should strive for 14 to 18%. Achieving these percentages requires a consistent diet focused on lean proteins, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates. Remember, no matter how hard you train, without proper nutrition, those abs will remain hidden under a layer of fat. If you want to build huge 3D triceps and want to know which are the best and worst exercises, make sure you watch the next video.